I came to the Mirror Fellowship to do work on design for belonging, and specifically, I was prototyping my way towards writing a book. So since finishing the fellowship, the book came out, and it's now sold a lot of copies, like 38,000 copies of the book are out there. I've heard from people all over the country that are using the Design for Belonging book and toolkit to change how they're working on small skills, like within a classroom. I've also heard from people outside of education in healthcare. Just this week, I got a note from somebody who works with folks that are coming back home after being in prison. So the next year for me is really about thinking in the context of the organization where I'm working now, and exploring what belonging means there. So that looks like working with teams to uncover what are the moments of belonging that they most need to attend to build greater belonging.
We take the waste that's produced by one type of industry and we match it with the raw material needs of another industry. At this point, we've brokered hundreds of thousands of pounds of waste that would have otherwise gone into a landfill. We've also worked with several hundred companies to identify what their raw material needs are and also what type of waste that they have to essentially build up a repository of these types of waste that we could potentially circularize in the future. If I look back on where I was last year and everything that was accomplished since then, I mean, I've actually met with Congress in Washington, D.C., met with state senators in Sacramento, basically promoting the circular economies and trying to promote regulations and policies that would actually benefit sustainability.
The mission of GeoTara is to empower humanity with data, communication, and analytical tools. So my technology has a better ability to detect climate impacts and reduce the errors in climate signal by up to 400%. Traditionally, for a project like this, the type of insights that we can offer would take 80% of the time of a trained engineer with 5 to 10 years of experience. We're trying to reduce that to a few seconds. I have just 1 or 2 goals right now. Within the next quarter, we're looking to raise about $300,000 to meet our operational costs for the next 18 months in preparation for venture capital.
I'm Lynn. My project is the Money Health Collective. It is a way for us to create an environment where people around the world have an opportunity to talk about money in a safe way.
This woman from Estonia joined and said, I don't understand how this is something that I can just use. How is this possible? Like, I just get a financial advisor. They're not going to try to randomly sell me something and I can have this support. I mean, that's not an uncommon story, but I think the fact that she found this through a blog post from somebody else who found it from somebody else, that this seems to be something that is meaningful for people in a different way.
I'm always working as a liberatory designer, and I am always working with those in power at the table and those who are most impacted at the table. I am stoked on being able to work on so many different kinds of projects across the landscape. I recently finished a project in Southeast Alaska, working with the Tlingit Haida folks on designing a lateral kindness initiative, education CMO in LA, designing an organizational path, multi-year path to anti-racism within their organization and what it means to be pro-Black throughout their education system and to honor all of the many identities in that context. I think I'm at a cool place in my learning and in my career where I'm the intersection of my leadership work and my design work means that I'm really strong at strategy and change management. So I feel excited about using those things to make impactful change with aligned organizations.
So the San Francisco Contemplarium creates space for honoring our human journey here in San Francisco. So what we do is events, programming, and other sorts of offerings that allow people to take a moment to give their experiences of joy or sorrow or anything in between the space that it deserves. Man, so much happened in the past year. I think the biggest thing was quitting my job, my full-time job, to pursue the Contemplarium full-time. So that was big. And then since then, I've done all sorts of experimentation, and then officially launched the first official programming in August, and we've had 2.5 months of programming since then. And it's really taken off. There's its own momentum. It's real. People are coming and coming back. And now I'm building a team of volunteers to help co-create this thing into the future. I think the primary goal for this next year is to really move beyond me as a solo person doing this to empowering a community and a core of co-creators.
Tiny Mike Story is a community to help develop genuine confidence, creativity, and emotional intelligence in kids. The way we do it is through daily storytelling and public speaking. Over the last year, we got all the kids who went through our program to come and share their learnings, and through that, teach a course. That course, I think, is probably the best storytelling course that exists for kids. Because one, it's taught by kids who went through the program. It's taught by kids as a reflection of the journey they've had. It's taught by kids with examples of how they spoke and how they figured it out.
At the start, this is my nervousness, this is my confidence. Your confidence is this much, your nervousness is up high. Then you start talking more, you make jokes, you make people laugh. It'll turn to even. But still, it's still there. It's going to trouble you while you're talking, and the confidence can get scared and go down. But then you make people laugh with jokes, make it funny, make it hilarious, make it ridiculous. Make yourself look weird, make it funny, and then your confidence will go up.
So that is the one thing that I'm the most proud of. I think that course is the most incredible, useful thing a child can watch to help them become better storyteller. What we are focusing on right now is to get to the first 1,000 paying users of our program, because that validates the fact that people will pay for the program and that the solution keeps working for them. The intention is in 5 years, every city in the world, every major city, every small town has some version of Tiny Mike's Story, either run by curators, either parents and kids sit at home, play the Tiny Mike Story game to reflect on their days, to share stories with each other, and through that develop genuine confidence in the kids. That's the dream. Whether it takes 5 years or 10 years, I think it's for time to tell, but I know eventually we'll get there.